go. Made it to the top. Heading back. I think that vulture's been following me the whole time.
Groves. Now it's been overrun with wine. This is Santa Barbara wine country. So if you're a wine drinker, you're in the right place. You've got either 11 or 22 miles until you can have your first glass of wine of the day at lunch at this beautiful vineyard called Zaca Mesa. We'll be eating either outside in their garden or in their little patio. Nick will be preparing our lunch, but to get there we do have a few options. Regardless, you are going to be riding through the Los Padres National Forest. That's going to kind of be around you. This is one of the only transverse mountain ranges in the United States. There's two of them. One of them's right here. So it runs east to west instead of north to south. So that's why you get those kind of microclimates within the valleys. The moisture, the fog that you saw this morning, when it's dry and it's summertime out here, these plants don't get a lot of saturation anyway, any which way, except with the moisture that they get in the fog every morning. So though it's a little gloomy in the morning, it's actually very necessary for the grapes out here that they get that fog.
So each morning they give me these presentations. So this is where we start. We do a loop. I always look for these. They have these on the list here. Coffee stop. So I go hard until I get to that. Then I think, okay, my next stop right there. I always look for the food. I'll see you on the trail. So this is the bike I've been using all week, and you know it. A coffee cup holder and a water bottle. Perfect. It's a little bit bumpy. Look at the scenery though. Okay, I'm gonna get yelled at for doing this. Big birds back there, vultures. We had to make our way through. Heading through wine country. Okay, here we are, our final day. This has been the best trip I think I've ever done. Back roads, see that how I can't even do a scripted, like I have to remember who. So
you're on a back roads trip.
Back roads bicycle trips. They are across the world. I'm gonna let Kat talk because she has been the best instructor all week. You got me through 170 plus miles on a bicycle.
And not an e-bike either. All powered and a performance at the end. Yeah, we're all over the place. Backroads has trips in the US and in Europe and Asia and all over the world. We've got e-bikes, we've got performance bikes. You'll have guides of all ages and all skill sets, and they'll take you around and show you really cool places by bike, which is a really slow and steady way to see an area, and I've loved this job because of that.
All bicycling styles and levels, you will meet their needs, right?
Yeah.
The important thing is get out and keep moving.
Meet cool people along the way.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. We will be back.
Yes!
We will be back.
Thank you.
Okay, here we are, final time, loading up. I don't know if I got a good picture of these bikes, but a nice wide range of cruising bikes, performance bikes. Oh, these are e-bikes. They take the batteries out. So any bike you need, can't talk about it enough. It was a great trip. See you at home in 2 days, pouring concrete. Okay, 10 yards, did the walk in this big pad. I just got here, I'm not sure, I think we are 13 by 39, 40. Number two's mixing up. We have to do this little courtyard here. They're gonna put turf in the middle of that with concrete around it. So let's go see what they're doing here. Take some tools over with me. And again, we're just getting Tony empty, getting our rebar area is all empty. Rebar are all pulled up, ready for number 2. Let's get him mixed up. We have 1 step, 2 steps. Now when we pour up against this stonework, we don't want to just put expansion joint against here and show these gaps. So we use this Epifoam joint, and that'll push in there real nice. Then the builder can pull that top off. See how it's a 2-piece top right there? That'll come off, and they can run a bead of caulking around it. Sorry, a little bit noisy. Get him out of here, and looks like Big Show's coming in. That's a happy wheelbarrow right there. Good deal. Okay. Okay, as we're winding down the pour, a little bit there, easy stretch here. Just wanted to show you what I was talking about with this Epifoam. You can see how pliable this is, how flexible, and it just molds right around the stones. And it'll look much nicer. Now we'll just roll this edge. What is this getting, bro?
Broom.
So we'll just roll this edge. We're not going to finish edge this because that would be very, you know, it wouldn't look good at all. So we'll just straight broom it up to a rolled edge, and then they'll caulk that when they're all done. Just wanted to highlight on that a little bit. Of course, we'll wipe the siding off. If we hang plastic right now, it'd be falling in. Everything's all wet and sticky from the dew overnight. And we are almost done pouring. Grab a sip of coffee. I haven't said that for quite a while. We'll see you in a minute. Things are coming together pretty good. Got our cuts in, all floated up. Same over here on this walk. We always like to get a cut. This is not us. That is just some mortar. We always like to get a cut off of these corners. This over here is a little bit soft to do anything with yet, besides edging. So all of our cuts are laid out. This is 10 foot off of the house, so everything will line up right through here. We're gonna have to add corners, obviously, so we'll be back at it. Just getting this pad ready. One more truck coming for that. Tom's just bringing in a little bit of stone to take up the gaps down here. Just a little sprinkle is all we need. We want to pour this about 5 inches thick. We poured this section a little bit thicker. Now tomorrow I'm going to run one saw cut right down the middle. I thought it would look too busy if we did a tool cut. I'm sorry, it's too noisy. If we run a saw cut down the middle, now it's less noticeable. 10 feet away, you don't even see it. If we do a tool cut down the middle, now we have 2 smaller pads, 3 11-foot pads. It just looked a little bit busy to me, so I thought. I always like to explain why we're doing it. This is 13 foot 6 inches across. It's probably okay, but it's a little bit wider than we're comfortable with, so a saw cut will give us good center crack protection. Yep, turn my back for a second. Look what happens. All right, moving along. This is in the shade. This is in the shade. That's why we're waiting to broom. We got all of our tool cuts in over here. And we all know it wants to crack corners and center. So that's why we did our layout the way we did it. So we'll be hitting these steps shortly, and 2 more mixers coming. We'll hit this pad here, and we'll save these 2 for in the morning. With it being so cold out, I still don't like pouring after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I like the concrete to be cooking pretty good. Time the sun goes down, generating heat, keeping it nice and safe. Careful not to pull these boards too soon. We don't want those corners to sag or the middle to sag. We want that to be nice and straight and nice and true going back. So perfect timing is, well, it's a big help on these. And you'll just develop a feel for it. Now as I rub this all up, you can see how it's quite wet. So definitely no brooming yet, but the concrete's holding shape real nice. So Steve's pulling his sides in a minute, and as soon as Jim's done brooming, I'll hit this face and clean that up. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. See how I'm tapping the form? We don't want to see this corner move at all. Just trying to find a good place to hold on to it. There we go. Slide it away. Now, fill in this debris. Don't just scrape this cream in there. We have some concrete right here. You okay? Okay. Lay some debris in there and flatten that out. Yeah. Okay, camera right here, nice and close. One more. Clean that all up. That way all this is the same plane and water won't lay in there. Yeah. Slow and flat. See how that corner's moving a little bit? So I'm just pushing a little bit. And scrape some cream up on the edge and lay it right in there. Just being very gentle. Voila. These tiny, tiny holes. Now, I got the camera 8 inches away from that. So these look like craters. They're not. They're very small holes. The broom's going to take care of that. Okay. Let them tighten up, and I'll get a broom mark on that. Work on our way off. In 12 yards we made it. He was sounding very empty in the truck, so we didn't have much left. I know 10 would not have made it. So Steve's just coming around here doing a broom. Still a little bit soft, tucked back in this corner in the shade. So he's doing an angle broom on the corners just to dress it up a little bit. Then he'll just get in the corner with the feather and brush. So let's get cleaned up, get this edged, get this finished, get prepped for tomorrow. Let's go. Okay, exciting morning here. We got about 3 inches of rain yesterday, so we were not here. I just finished digging these steps out and formed these up while the guys were pouring number 1. These are a pyramided set of steps. You can enter from the side, front, all 3 sides. Kind of looks like a wedding cake, 2-tier wedding cake. First step starts outside a pillar, outside a pillar. I'll get those drilled and rebarred in 1 second. Number 2 is in place. Let's go up and see how the guys made out. Okay, we're pulling our spreader that holds our expansion joint, dividing the pads up. We like to be able to let them move a little bit over, working our way right back. I'll set you right here so you can watch it all happen. Okay, there it is, almost 20 yards. He's a little bit left. We're just going to send him back. Number 4, our favorite driveway driver in the whole wide world, Denny. We're going to pour these steps. Okay, you like them? Oh yeah. A row high and a row low. We'll leave a couple sticking out to tie into the walk for the drive. Okay, getting ready to pull them up. Okay, that should take care of that. Now when we tie our sidewalk in, we'll be tied to the, and this is thick. This is a nice foundation for these steps. We don't want these things going anywhere. And we don't like phone calls from the builder unless they're giving us more work. So we're tied in real nice. Surrounded in mud. So we got this construction paper, rolled it out beside the driveway there. Now we can keep it looking pretty good rather than get it all mudded up. In 2 days, it'll look like that, but at least it won't be from us. Okay, starting to edge. We snapped lines so that all of our cuts come straight through. And I believe these pads are 10 feet long. Jim's working on the steps. I didn't see that. Oh, is this muddy? I had a slight bow in on that, Jim. Did that push it all?
This one?
Yeah, yep, looks good. Looks good. I can't see the bottom yet, but it needed to push a little bit, and it looks like it did. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just working to our blue line. A little bit of slope. I put a spacer underneath here, keeping this lower. That way we get some side pitch there. That way it doesn't puddle all around that step. Everything drains away from the steps. People are starting to show up. And let's go. Concrete's all cleaned up, joints are opened up. Now we're just waiting for it to tighten up. Okay, just a little bit soft now that we got it all floated up. Let's head over here, see how they're making out with the steps. Muddy, muddy, muddy. So that's our rebar I stabbed in. That'll tie into our walk. Yeah, so just a little bit soft. I had to pull a couple of stone off. Now they'll reattach, and they're gonna stone up tight to the steps underneath there. What a nice porch. Almost as nice as our stamp work. I did want to show you the gingerbread on this house. This is a gorgeous house. Look at the detail on those columns. I like the fence or the handrail, but look at the detail work underneath these windows. Isn't that gorgeous? Really sharp. Good job, guys. Another reason I prefer to use the expansion joint, now you can see we do a 6-inch smooth edge on each side. We can just come right down it on 2 knee boards, not hurting the broom marks. We don't have to re-float the concrete. Everything's dried, finished and drying nice and even. Sometimes if you have to come down them and you clean up half of it, now you see that in your broom mark. So that's one other nice aspect of doing it that way. Just about done. Joints are all cleaned up. I really like the gingerbread. That's on the front of the house, the side, this little courtyard. I think I mentioned earlier they're putting AstroTurf in that area, and they'll probably fence it off, I imagine, for a dog or something, but kind of neat. Matt's just checking the garage doors for some splatter, making sure we clean them off. Okay, just about done. We'll be on those steps shortly. There's about 50 to 100 reasons why your concrete can fail. I'd say the top 10, getting sealer, curing compound on it. This is a 3-in-1. It's a curing compound, a surface sealer, and a penetrating sealer. That's what they claim on the jug, and we've been using it for, how long we've been using SRT, Matt? 8-10 years, as long as I can remember, and it's been working really well. But key is put it on heavy enough. In these joints, you see how they deteriorate before anything else. All the salts and corrosives set in there and just eat away at that concrete. So get sealer down in those joints across the surface, nice and even. A lot of them are tinted. This has got a whitish bluish tint to it, so you can see how even you put it on, and you can see how blotchy it looks just minutes after. When it dries, it'll look like that. You barely even know it's on there, and then it'll give you good surface protection against corrosives that drip off your car or anything you put on there to melt snow and ice. And anything you put on there, I don't care what it says on the bag, anything that melts snow and ice is harmful to concrete, especially concrete less than a year old. Flip the bag over in a tiny, tiny little corner, it'll tell you that. So, how are we making out on those steps? They got the bracing off, everything's edged, just sitting there. It's still quite soft, so we're just going to hang tight. There it is. Grab that sip of coffee. See you real soon. Oh, me too. Here we go, pulling our bottom step. 3 screws, a little bit of tapping. And we are free. You slide it that way. You don't just pull it off or pull it up. When you can, slide it. And you just have a little bit of work to do on that face. Now our sidewalk is coming in at this height. I didn't have a 2x10 to put here, so I just used a 2x8. This gets chopped down. I'm gonna have to put the camera down to do this, but you get the idea. See how this top edge is moving, so you don't want to push too hard up top. Now that'll take a broom mark real nice. A little bit right here. There we go. Okay, I gotta put the camera down. Okay, that's what we're looking for. A little bit of holes there. Okay, it's about as exciting as we can make brooming a step. All right, I can caution tape it. All right, see you. I just got the word we'll be back here Monday. This is, what day is today? Wednesday. Wednesday. All right, we're coming back Monday to start this big area here. See you then.